Hello and welcome to Pickles Garage. Today we're going to be working on the 93 Z28 Camaro, and we are going to be replacing the belt tensioner, the belts, and doing a little bit of cleanup. So what we'll need for this repair, we're going to go ahead and use Rock Auto. That's similar to what I use for really all of my parts. If I can find it, it's a lot cheaper. It kind of cuts out the middleman. So if you can find it on Rock Auto, Parts Geeks, places like that, you're gonna spend a lot less money. They also give you a number of different options, which I like quite a bit. However, the quality isn't always perfect. This is made in the US, but it's got kind of really sharp edges. I don't know if you could see. It's like a weird sort of weld, and it feels a little cheap. And it was on the lower price side, but it just feels quality-wise is a little cheap as well. So this is Dayco. It's a kit, because typically if you're going to be replacing your belt tensioner, you should go ahead and replace your belt and idler pulley. The funny thing about this though is I don't actually have an idler pulley to replace, so that's probably for different models or something that this kit just works for as well. But you can save money if you see these and just get the belt and then the belt tensioner separate. So the parts we're going to need is, you're going to want to remove your belt, and easy enough, you'll see it again when I go to start taking it off on the old one, but you're just going to put a size 15 millimeter on this, and then you're just going to rotate it clockwise, and that will pull this down, taking tension off the belt, slide it off, and go from there. And then you're also going to have two bolts on either side. Those are going to be size 10 millimeters, so I'm going to use a breaker bar to take the tension off, get the belt, and then I'm going to use a ratchet to get these 10 off. I'm also going to be cleaning it up today. Anytime that you're down there, you might as well just spray it with some degreaser, and then we'll hose it off. But let's go ahead and dive right into it. Alright, so it's easier if you lift the car. These ramps are a lifesaver. Make sure you put your e-brake on and everything, but we're slightly to the left, or the passenger side, and that is where your tensioner is. You'll see my belt is already off. I'm actually working on an AC delete right now, so that is good to go. Yours might be, this is actually the original OEM, is a size 11. You can use a half as well, but same thing. You're just going to go ahead and put the socket in and just do a turn clockwise, and then that'll relieve the tension. You can slip the belt off. Don't worry about keeping track of it, because there is a chart and you're gonna have to replace it anyways if you got a new one. But we're gonna go ahead and focus on these two bolts right here. They're super dirty. Those are gonna be size 10 once again. So let's knock those out. So we got the old one out. Make sure you keep the bolts. The new one doesn't come with new hardware. They're the same size, so you don't have to worry about keeping track of which one's which, but you can see how cruddy this is. A lot of this is going to be oil that actually spilled on from probably the pan, but these do tend to leak and wear out, and I do think this one is probably not running optimally. Honestly, it's mostly mechanical anyways, so there's not a whole lot of concern in general, but what tends to happen is if these get locked up, or if they're not lubricated well internally, then it could still throw off your idle a little bit if it's shaky or if it seizes up eventually, which these do. And like I said, this one is just incredibly dirty, so it was probably on its way out, and the wheel is a little beat, so it's good that we're going to be replacing this. This is the point that I'm going to go ahead and spray down there just to clean up. Whenever you take off a semi-large sized part, you might as well clean up the area, because once you put the new one on, you're not going to worry about it for the next few years. So we'll go ahead and clean it, and then we'll pop the new one on, size 10. This just goes back on exactly how it came off. Okay, so now we have it installed, right? Size 10. It's a little wet just because, like I said, I was degreasing most of it, but we're going to go ahead and follow this chart now. And so right up top you have your alternator here, and then right below it is going to be your power steering pump, and then that's going to be the crank. This is going to be your new belt tensioner, and then down here is your AC, which, like I said, mine is a delete, so it looks a little different. But that is just the order that you're going to follow. So up, around, under, and then over top and up again. So you're just going to use that socket, pulling it counter or clockwise, and so that it pulls tension off of it down. And then I usually have everything pre-wrapped. If you can get it to where you could put it over the thing while you're down there, that's great. I've also found that having someone up top and putting it around the alternator, having everything else set, and then just having someone pull it up over the alternator works really well as well. So I still need to finish my other job over here, so I'm not going to have the belts on by the end of this video, but if you follow this chart, you'll be good to go. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.